Captain on bridge.
戦場に到着。分かった。素材習得。
What's up, Alfred? It's just filler in general. There's nothing really, happening this month. The only thing I'm doing is Trials of Mana, but that's not for another 2 weeks. Kinda gave up on Basara actually happening at this point.
遅い。了解。素材習得。分かった。素材習得。
I don't know anything about the combat in Genshin Impact, but the fact that it's open world makes me not really care that much. It's a big turnoff for me. I've watched some gameplay of it. I don't know how good the combat is, but just hate open world stuff.
材料拾ったで。
そろそろこの戦闘を終わらせる戦場に
Yeah,
到
that's why I'm
着
not really interested in Genshin
Okay.
Impact. It doesn't really seem like I'll like it. I did attempt to get into the beta, but
任務の指令
I
は
didn't
全
get
て頭に
accepted,
入ってい
so
る
no, I'll try it. I'll give it a chance, but it doesn't really look like I would play it. I like how this game just doesn't bother with any of that crap. Just lets you just fight, no filler.
材料拾ったで。素材回収完了。セット。セット。セット。ギュッと。と。と。ふっ。と。と。ふっ。と。ふっ。と。と。と。と。ふっ。チャンスよ。と。陣形変更。と。総員集合。素材回収完了。セット。ふっと。と。と。ふっ。ふっ。よそ見せず前に進みセット。足元に気をつけて警戒するように。素材回収完了。よそ見せず前に進みなさい。ふっと。と。と。と。ふっ。と。ふっと。ふっと。と。と。と。と。ふっと。
燃やし尽くせ
どこ行くんせ。
完成する
と。と。ふっ。と。影分身。瞬戦。と。と。ふっ。ふっ。と。と。ふっと。ふっ。ふっ。ふっ。と。ふっ。ふっ。ふっ。ふっ。何。ふっ。ふっ。セット。ふっ。ふっと。
思ったより簡単じゃなさそうだ。
No, I can't blame people for being excited because it's such an influential game. But yeah, I like how they kind of just gloss over the fact that it's not the full game. It's also like the end of the console lifespan too, so it reminds me a lot of God of War 2 actually, because that game was basically the same kind of thing. It was like an open cliffhanger, like they were already working on the next one, and you had to buy a PS3 to continue the story. Pretty much the same thing when you think about it.
分かった。了解。この任務、思ったより簡単じゃなさそうだ。燃やし尽くせ。
Damn, I wasn't supposed to take down that boss. The sequence broke. Cool. I like that they let you do that. You know, they don't force you to level up. You can actually, you can beat them with skill, which I think is awesome. I was not supposed to do that for like 3 levels. I still pulled it off. No, this is a side mode in the main game. But they like completely changed the combat, so it's more like a bootleg DMC.
目標地点確認。
Like that boss I was not supposed to take down for 3 levels. It was like warning me and stuff, but because I'm relatively decent at this mode, I was able to take it out anyway. And I really like that I was able to do that. I took down the other boss like 2 levels before I was supposed to, too. It's satisfying. Oh, has it been happening to you too? Does it just like randomly go to 100%? Because that's what's been happening to me. I've seen other people mention it too. It seems like it's just a game. It's not anything that's wrong with our computers. This is Honkai Impact 3rd. Generic anime women doing combos and stuff. That's basically all it is. I don't really like the character designs in this game, but the gameplay is pretty solid. It's fun to play casually. It's just like all these other free-to-play games. You have to really be responsible with how much money you spend. Let's see what else is here. How much time did I waste on closers? I played that game for a while, but it felt like it was dying. It felt like the game was gonna die pretty soon. I know there's like a private server that people play on, and I think if I ever came back, maybe I would play on there. It's a mobile game with a PC port, which is the only reason that I play it. I only play this because they actually bothered to make a PC port for it, so I don't have to fight with emulators, because I hate that shit.
この力は信州の平和を壊させはしません。この土地のため力が必要です。
Yes, it does. It's a pretty decent port.
新しい任務ですか？
It actually works.
道は阻にして。
From what I understand, it barely works on a phone at all, which is why people were begging for a port. Like that mode I was just playing apparently like barely works on phones. It runs it like overheats the phone and stuff, so people kept begging for a port. Unlike a lot of these other free-to-play games, they actually bothered to make a port, which is the only reason I play it. I played this for a while on an emulator because people said that I would probably like it. I like the game, I just hate the monetization. It's pretty greedy how much money they want you to spend to get stuff. I pretty much just buy the battle pass and then the monthly card, which is like $25 a month. Yeah, I don't really buy much else. I don't really see a point in doing it unless you get really lucky. I just don't like buying loot boxes in general, so I like that they do have some things that you can buy that are guaranteed. This game has better rates than KOF All-Stars. I stopped playing that game because of how greedy it was. I like that game's gameplay more than this. Yeah, it's less complicated in some ways, but the monetization was even worse. The monetization really killed that game for me. Like $200, $300 to get one character guaranteed is just... I can't justify that. Games like this, the only time people really watch you is when you have like maxed out accounts and stuff and you spend like hundreds if not thousands of dollars. I don't have that kind of money. Most people are not interested in watching someone play these games casually or not have like all the new stuff as soon as it comes out. It just costs too much money to do that. My KOF All-Star videos did pretty bad because I didn't have any of the new stuff because it takes too much money or crazy luck to get it. No, the monetization is horrible in KOF All Stars. It's been a very common complaint with pretty much anybody who plays it is just how much money you have to spend. Knights of Valor was nowhere near as bad. Knights of Valor actually lets you buy the characters. Now those characters they were still like 20, $30, and that turned off a lot of people, but then you look at stuff like KOF All Stars where the only guarantee is like $300 in for one character, which is like 5 AAA video games. It's like a night and day difference. Knights of Valor, the only bad thing about the monetization was the loot boxes that they added later on. The game did not have loot boxes until towards the end of its original lifespan when they added the mercenary system. Yeah, but being able to buy the characters outright is actually a good thing if you ask me, because you can support the game with a flat rate and actually get something. And in most free-to-play games, especially these days, you can't do that. You have to gamble for them, which I think is stupid. Or at the very least, like the pity for them should be like no more than like I don't know, $40 or so. Like I'd say like 40, maybe $50 tops should be like the pity. I would spend a lot more money on Honkai if that was the case. But they mostly just want whales. They don't want people who they don't want people. They don't want dolphins. They want whales. Dolphins in free to play game terms are like people who will spend money on a game. Like they won't play completely free to play, but they don't spend enough to keep the suits of the company interested. And what they really want is the whales who are like they want the whales who are like hopelessly addicted to the game that will spend like I don't know like grocery money and rent money on the game and shit. That's what they actually want. Which I've always found to be really backwards because I don't mind. I have disposable income. I don't mind spending money on free games. I understand that they can't function just off people playing for free or spending like $5 every 6 months or something. I totally get that as somebody who runs his own small business, but it should not cost like $300 to get one character. That's just crazy. That's my problem with free to play games. Ideally, the new characters are just free, but I think Knights of Valor actually did it in a pretty good way because you could actually farm them too. That game actually gave out a lot of the stones, the currency, so it was very possible to grind for a character and not have to pay anything. Obviously, it took longer than just coughing up the $20 to buy it, but I actually like that monetization model quite well. I spent a decent amount of money on that game before it showed signs of dying, and I felt like I was just wasting my time. But I actually like that in retrospect, to looking back at it, that was actually more fair than what a lot of these other game companies do. Like, you could actually grind and get what you want. No, they just have double standards. They want people to spend money on the games, but they don't want to make it affordable for normal people who are not like oil princes dropping thousands, or people that don't have their priorities straight and will spend like $500 on a mobile game a month and then like not be able to pay bills or buy groceries. Like those are the people they want to take advantage of. They don't want actual normal, honest, just regular people who would spend money on the game, but they feel like they're against doing it because they can't get a good value for their dollar. I definitely feel that way in Honkai Impact. The only things that really I feel like I get good money off of, good value for my money, is the battle pass. The battle pass is actually quite nice because you get guaranteed stuff for it, and they have like a shop where you can get. They rotate it out like every month and a half or so. They have like really good end game items that you can get in there, guaranteed. You can't choose, so they're the ones that curate the gear and stuff that's in there. But if you pay the like $15 for it, then all you have to do is just play the game every day and you can get it. I like that part of it. It's just like they have like all those loot box banners and stuff where you have to pay like $500 or some shit to get something guaranteed. That's what pisses me off. I don't like that at all. Like let me support your game, but also not go homeless doing it. That's all I really ask. I'm totally cool with dropping some cash on a mobile game. I don't mind, not mobile, but like free to play, but you have to make me feel like I'm not just throwing my money into a fire. That's definitely how Honkai Impact is if you try to go for those loot boxes. The only way you can really get around it is to just save up for like months. If you save up for like months, then I guess you can get something guaranteed, but it's still, it takes way too much effort to do that. The online is far more populated on. It's far more populated on PS4. I might have to use like Cheat Engine to get past those levels. Alright, let's see how this runs. I have it in Windows 7 compatibility mode right now. Oh, it's worse. Hold on. That didn't work. I thought that would help, but it didn't. It's maxing my CPU. They need to fix this damn game. Seriously, I'm getting tired of this shit. I really am. I'm getting sick of this. I just want to play the game and not have it devour all my computer's resources on the fucking menu when the assets aren't even loaded properly. It's annoying. I'm getting kind of burnt out on the game anyway, so I don't really care that much. It's just, it's been weeks and they haven't fixed it. Like, I should not have to fight this much. The computer is an order of magnitude better than a PS4. I should not be having any problems running it at all. See if Windows 7 compatibility mode, maybe that will just magically help. Ugh.
私の力が必要なのね。
I'm at 100% CPU on the menu. On the freaking menu. It's not even like loading the assets right now. This game is like cursed.
お手並み拝見。
まあせいぜいやけどに気をつけなきゃ。
Nope. 40 FPS. Unacceptable. Why can't they make a good port? Fucking annoying. Tired of this shit. Someone in my chat just now said that it ran really good, but after some days it began lagging a lot. That's exactly what happened to me. It just takes so much resources. I'm thinking there's some kind of bug in the game. I don't know what exactly could cause that. Like maybe the more times it's booted, for some reason it's like not clearing data or something. I don't know. It's really annoying though. I'm sick of fighting with it. I'm gonna try one more time and see what happens. What's up, Ultra?
私の力が必要なのね。
So basically, as soon as I get to this menu, it takes 100% CPU. And then when I get into the game, it's basically 100% maxed. I went through so many tests trying to determine if it was my computer, and I basically determined that it's not my computer. The game is, like, messed up or something. It should not be taking 100% on the menu. It also should not be maxed at all times. The only thing that's good about it is I looked at MSI Afterburner, and it's not overheating my CPU. The CPU is at a normal temperature, so it's not like it's damaging the parts of my computer. It's just, it's taking far more resources than it's supposed to. And I'm pretty sure that's a game issue.
がいる限りお前たちに勝ち目はない。
あれ随分威勢がいいんだね。
奴は叩き潰す。
本気で行くわ。
襟をつけよう。
なかなか気に入ったね。さすがの強さね。やるまダブルシックス。
おっと、これは予想外だ。
もっと強い敵はいないの？少しやりすぎたかしら。
さすがだな。いい働きをする。仕方ねえ。
If I get my stimulus check this week, I'm actually gonna upgrade my entire computer. It's gonna go with an i5 9600, which is the best I can get for my motherboard slot type. What else was I gonna get? A new SSD. Not a new GPU. Current upgrades for my current GPU are still too expensive, but it's gonna get 32 gigs DDR4 RAM and then new power supply. I think maybe later this year I'll get a better GPU, but that should future-proof me for when the new consoles come out. That might just fix this game outright. It may just not like my CPU, but I've seen other people with better computers saying it does the same thing on theirs as well, so I would be surprised if upgrading it just fixed it, but it probably won't. Something's wrong with the game.
あなた強いのね。さすがの強さね。やるはダブルシックス。
俺とも戦い調子に乗る何のカードが出るか
Is it spiking your CPU too? Yeah, I spent hours trying to fix it, and I just came to the conclusion that it's not my rig, because everything else runs fine. And it's not even overheating my CPU either. I checked, it was at like 58 Celsius last time, which is nowhere near like a dangerous level where, you know, it's not going to stop working or something. The game's just... I wouldn't call it poorly optimized. It still runs better than the PS4 version. It's just oddly optimized. Is probably the better word for it. Something seriously wrong with it. Everything else has been fine. I'm sure they'll iron it out eventually. Warriors Orochi 4 was the same way. They fixed that game pretty quickly. Yeah, it's not your computer. Trust me. If it was overheating, then that would be a major issue, but it's not overheating, it's just it's taking up so much resources that it's hard for me to run much of anything else. I want to start messing around with Cheat Engine now that I got all the achievements, but I can't really do that until they fix their game. Who knows when that will be. Maybe in a couple days. Yeah, I've heard enough people say that it's happening to not try to fight with it anymore. I'm just gonna play and not worry about it. If it was damaging my CPU, it would have already done it by now, because I played this for closer to 50 hours at this point. I think 50 hours I've been running at an overheated level would probably fry the CPU. So, that's good at least. But it should not be taking up as many resources as it is. I haven't tried this Oreo guy yet. See if I have enough cash to max him out. Yeah, Warriors Orochi 4 runs fine. Which I think is on the same engine as this, as far as I know anyway. I guess so, but Basara still has more unique stuff. But Basara also has all those stupid Mario Party minigames and shit, which suck a lot of the fun out of playing it repeatedly. On the Steam database, it says that they're working on a patch. Which is kind of why I'm playing like other stuff right now, is I'm tired of fighting with it. I like not having stuff bound to the... I like not having things bound to the charge attack system. I like that aspect of it. It's just that some characters don't have that many R1s to work with, so they can feel kind of repetitive to play. They don't have much of a interesting endgame thing to grind for. You know, I would have got the achievements on Warriors Orochi 4, but I get so tired of the infinite mode. There's like no peon spawning at all. It just gets really repetitive doing it. Infinite mode is a good idea. It's just the problem is it's just so boring. It just takes too long for the enemies to spawn. They want you to take out like 2,000 of them and like 20 spawn at a time. the pacing is just not there. I'm shocked that they haven't fixed it. That would be such an easy thing to fix. It's the only thing that's really wrong with it. I mean, they added what people wanted. People wanted an endgame mode. But they didn't do it in the right way. It should be fast-paced. It should not be slow-paced. If the enemies spawned, the peons and officers spawned like they do in this game, then it would be a lot of fun. But they don't, so you spend a lot of time just waiting for something to happen. Every time I try to play that game, it gives me the objectives to destroy the anchors, and I just turn the game off. I stop playing it completely. Like, if you're gonna make an end game mode, you should make sure that people actually want to play it, and that it's not torture to play it. And the only thing you have to gain from doing it is just doing more damage, which is not really interesting to me. It could have added like some new weapon abilities or like accessories or something. That would have really helped. But all you get is just more damage. You can already... Doesn't even feel like the more damage even makes that much difference. If you play the way I do, at least, where I just combo. See why everybody abuses this guy. It's my first time playing as him. I have the platinum trophy, and I never played as this guy even once. I've had more fun with the less overpowered characters. Definitely a force to be reckoned with, though. He S-ranked that like a champ. Let's see how bad Tashigi is. I'm curious. just how terrible she is to play. I haven't really played as her yet. And then I think I'm gonna switch games or stop for now. Just how much do they do Toshiki dirty. Now here she's awful. Like one of the worst characters in the game. Yeah, she has no air chains at all, which is pretty dumb. Just wanted to give it a shot. I don't even have to save the game if I don't like it.
俺の闇の恐ろしさ味わわせて
Yeah, this is pretty bad. That was kind of fun. I like in Samurai Warriors 4 2, where they added like an enemy infinite prevention system. So like all the normal type characters that had to do like 7 normal attacks to get to a charge sometimes could not even get that far. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. It already was kind of a disadvantage to have to get that far into a string to get to what you want. But when you can't even get that far after starting a combo, something's seriously wrong. Very odd decision. Oh, this camera is terrible. Oh, it's because this freaking big muscle guy is here. No wonder. He just makes the camera even worse. Yeah, I think that's Alt F4 worthy. It's awful. They couldn't even be bothered to, like, actually give her a new moveset. They just took the old animations and put them in different places. They didn't even bother to do that properly. She, like, barely functions. What really sucks is that on Giants, you're automatically, the power dash automatically puts you in the air. So on Giants, she has very little that she can do. Because the only way you can really stack damage against Giants without an airstring is to just keep dash canceling. You're going to run out of stamina really fast. They need to, like, patch that character. I really don't know what they were. They barely gave her any new moves at all. Like, a lot of the characters do have recycled animations, but they're recycled in a better way that actually fits the new combat mechanics. But with her, they just took the same animations they had from the last game and just put them in different. Did like a patchwork moveset. It just doesn't work. They could have easily just taken the old C2 animation and just made that her airstring. I think that alone right there would fix her a lot. And then give the old R1, give that like almost no recovery time on the meter. I think that would go a long way. But like everything puts her into the air, and she can't do anything in the air. She can do the R1 and the old C3 in the air. That's it. Has no other options at all. I'm glad I was able to Alt F4 out, so it didn't save that I spent money on her. That's a shame. It's kind of fun to play, but it just feels clunky. Like they didn't bother to actually give her the kind of effort that they did with everybody else. The more functional moveset. Well, it's good to know that it's not my CPU dying that's causing that game to not work. I'm glad to know that at least. Yeah, I know I'm working on it. Hold on. If I switch to this game and I have the loading screen active, my recording program it messes up. I have to wait until the game loads and then switch scenes, otherwise it hangs. Because this game has a very, very long initial load screen. I guess recording software, my streaming software doesn't know how to adjust to it. It's the only way I've found to fix it, is to not have it in focus and then put it back in focus when it loads. There it goes. Alright. I like how this mode is easier than the easy or the normal difficulty because you get extends. The balancing in this game is so out of whack. Why is it easier on the hardest mode? It reminds me of Turtles in Time. Is you got more continues in that game when you played on hard mode than you did versus easy and normal. In this game, it's just this is the only mode where you get extends. Easy and Russo mode. The normal mode is actually quite difficult because you're forced to 1cc it, which is kind of weird design mentality to have. I feel like a 1cc should be something you work towards after you credit feed the game and find a good character and, you know, optimize and everything. It should not be something you're required to do. I don't really understand why it's designed like that. I feel like 1cc's are more satisfying when you have to grind for them, but you can still see all the content of the game without it, instead of just having to do it. I don't think it's necessary to have that kind of pressure, put that kind of pressure on the player from the start. Okay, so there's a new version of Streets of Rage 2X, which I need to get, so give me a second. I back the guy on Patreon, so he sends me the betas before they come out. Let's see. Beta 1? definitely feels quite a bit better. They have the Streets of Rage 4 healing system in the game. Combo potential could be a little bit better, but I guess I can leave him feedback because I back this guy on Patreon. It's definitely a better balanced game than Final Fight LNS Ultimate. Normal mode is actually quite easy. I know that he nerfed how often you get extends. So getting a 1cc on normal won't be as easy as it was before. But yeah, that game just has a better difficulty curve. It's less they don't force a 1cc on you. But there's supposed to be a new update for LNS Ultimate, I guess within sometime this month. I don't know, maybe they'll balance it out more. The game's the most fun to play on easy because if you don't hit the score threshold, then the game's just under an hour. And it's still relatively challenging too, but normal is just like not fun to play because you can't make any mistakes at all. There's no way to recover. No extends and no continues. And then Musou mode is actually quite fun, but the problem is it makes a long game even longer. And then like long beat 'em ups don't really mix with me very well. If they're like under an hour, I'm far more likely to play them for longer periods of time. When they start getting over an hour, I start to get too frustrated, or the game just doesn't have enough. The combat doesn't have enough depth to warrant it being that long. So hopefully those are things that will be ironed out in the next update. Maybe they should just make it like Battle Circuit. Because in Battle Circuit, there's that really shitty endgame boss that sucks to fight, but they give you the option of skipping it. So if you don't want to do it, you don't care about the ending, or you're trying to flex or anything, you don't have to. I hope that they'll put something like that in. Like, if you just want the game to end at the first half, then so be it. that would fix a lot of the problems for me. That and balance normal mode, so that at the very least you get some extends of something, if not just at least one extra credit. That would go a long way too, but I don't know exactly what it is they're going to fix. I guess I'll find out. Anyway, I think I want to go ahead and take a nap, because I have to go my kitty sitting shift in like 2.5 hours. So yeah, I'll be back later. Probably not One Piece, actually. I might look into some backlog stuff, see if I can find something else to buy until Trials of Mana comes out, because that's the next new game I'm doing. I need to find something to fill the void. I might go back to Vesperia, actually. Vesperia or East 8 are both backlogged because I just had too much other shit to play. So yeah, I'll be back later. Thanks for watching.